Welcome to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Ain't another place that has got more bombast. Romp past your mom, dad's listening to Tomcats, talking everything that make you sad. We don't want that. We're here to make you smile. Put your mind at ease. Peace, love, and bloom, and always praise Keanu Reeves. This what we about. Get some weed and now. We'll talk until we can't no more, and then we peacing out. Alright, let's go. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. It's the Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast. Penny Bloom Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Penny Bloom Podcast. Today, we continue our director's spotlight for one Martin Scorsese. Today, we discuss our second in a slew of 6 films in anticipation of Killers of the Flower Moon. Next up, we have After Hours, released on October 11th, 1985. It was written by Joseph Minion and directed by Martin Scorsese. And what a flick this is. I'm Colton Robertson. I'm joined by Joseph George. What's up, homie?
Oh, what up, what up? I think it's a pleasure to be here today. I think I am here today. I don't know if I'm awake or not, but I think I'm here. But always a pleasure to be here. Obviously.
A delirious experience, After Hours. So this was my second viewing of this film. I watched it for the first time earlier this year.
Okay.
And when I watched it, I was like, well, when we get to Martin Scorsese, this is going to have to be one we discuss. This was a first viewing for you, correct?
Yeah. It was I got my one. I watched it at I think I started it at 1:30 in the morning, probably. Maybe a little bit before that. But it was definitely the perfect time to watch this movie for the first time. I had no idea. I had zero clue of what this movie was at all. And
there's no way to explain it either.
I just went in completely blind. And then, so I watched it and, I fell asleep around, 4 or 5 a.m. probably around. Woke back up and then I'm like, man, I didn't have any my favorites down. I had some of them. Some of them are pretty clear. But then I was like, man, what scene do I pick? So I was just going through the movie and just trying to watch some scenes and see which one was my favorite.
Right.
And then I ended up watching 40 minutes of the movie and I'm like, oh shit, wow, I'm just it just encapsulates
watching the movie.
Yeah, it just it really just it's a crazy movie. It is a fever dream. But it's, I don't know, because it's more of just everything that can go wrong is gonna go wrong in this dream. It's just an anxiety dream to the max.
This is a hellish evening for someone,
oh my god, is this New York? Is this for real?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, okay. I mean, probably not in this order that this has happened to someone in one night. Maybe. Oh. I don't actually put it by New York for this to actually happen in one night. But the crazy thing is that how much of the stories connect to one another. Just
oh yeah.
And it's just like your dreams do. You'll see someone at the beginning of your dream completely unrelated to another scene, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And then they somehow link
Emerge.
up. And then it's yeah, what the fuck? So it's I don't know. There are a lot of just really weird. I don't the girl that had that worked at the bar that had the beehive.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She was sketching him the whole time. While he was over there, she just was already sketching him. I don't know, just drawing this. And then on her walls, there's other sketches of other dudes. And then later on, she's the one that's putting up the posters, the wanted posters, and whatever. Yeah. So it's did she already know that this dude, was the guy, or suspect that the mob suspected? Is she in on the mob, or in this ice cream mob it's crazy to talk about this movie. It doesn't even sound real. Like there's literally some of the like I was just blown away, but I couldn't look away the whole time. Like
no, it's an electric movie. And there's this kinetic energy it has that it gets you with immediately. You get through these opening credits, and then you get this very quick shot where it scans all the way across an office as fast as it can and zooms in on Paul Hackett, played by Griffin Dunn here. And I kind of like immediately, even if you don't really acknowledge that camera movement, it gives you an idea subconsciously of what you're about to get into. This just moving. We're never stopping in this one. Yeah. This man, what a fucking night he had.
Oh my God. I mean, like, it couldn't have gone worse. I mean, there was, and the thing is that, like, there's some weird connections that make it, like the newspaper clipping that was on his arm, that the girl read, that was, like, you know, dismembered completely, limb from limb, face pummeled in, whatever.
Yeah. What's a girl got to do to get her face pummeled?
Yeah, like, I don't, but it seems that there was like a goal to make it seem that there was like a scheme going on, or like some mystery that was about to be unraveled, but then at the end it's just not really at all. It's just like, I don't know, like it seems that we're going somewhere, and like, oh, maybe this is gonna unravel into some crazy coincidence.
I got a wild theory about this movie.
There's theories? Dude, I mean,
I don't know if there's theories. I have a theory.
Okay. I'd like to hear it.
I think that the newspaper clipping happened to him, and this is his hell. Like, this is literally his purgatory. This is what happens after he dies. He works this never-ending, same thing every day, word processor job, goes home at night, and then this series of events just keeps happening to him, and it's never-ending. That's I think he got his phone, because it's clear that something that I love about this movie is that he's not a good guy. You know, he's not like a terrible person, but he's not a particularly good dude. You know what I'm saying? Like when his coworker's talking to him about what he wants to go on to do, and he's just looking around the office, and then he's about to finish, he's like, yeah I'm gonna go, not you know. And
that poor little dude there too. Man, oh, dude, he's like, I want a publishing company for people that can't get their word out. You know, there's smart people all around the world. I just want them to have a voice. Like, this dude's just pouring his heart out, like just being
and
like,
he's like, yeah, man, I don't give a fuck.
I'm gonna leave. And like, what a weird when he leaves work. Like, it seems that he left very abruptly, like right after that conversation. With that, or not really a conversation, very one-sided conversation. And then, but the doors are already closing, like on his way out. So like,
I take that as
there's something, like something's going on. Like, it's not a normal world. Like, I was thinking that he might have just died in the taxi ride on the way over to the girl's house, because oh my God, that taxi driver is just and what the fuck? Why is the $20 bill in the paper mache statue thing? Eventually, right? You know, like, there's little things like that like don't make any sense at all, but that would happen in a dream or in a hellscape. I like this idea of that this is his hell. I really like that, because I mean, goddamn, this is this is a terrible fucking night.
Yeah. Well, and like they do a lot to make sure, you know, like, you feel bad for the guy, but he makes the wrong choice at almost every turn. You know what I'm saying? And he does try to appease people at several points, but even when he does, immediately after he appeases them and gets out of the situation, he flips on them the moment they like when she opens the door and he's like, "What are you doing? Get the fuck out of my face!" You know, and like he's like, "I just told you," you know. So I think like this purgatory is almost giving him a chance to do the right thing, and to just be there for Marcy instead of leaving Marcy and walking out at the beginning of the night. And then, you know, like, he eventually comes back and does steal back that $20 bill. And You know, like all these things, they just keep happening and happening. And while you feel bad for the guy, there's a lot of blame to go on him for the night going the way that it did.
Yeah. I mean, he's polite in what he's doing, but he's definitely like, it's a facade for what he's actually.
It's very
doing.
insincere. Yeah,
whenever he uses the restroom in the diner or whatever, he's like, I'm gonna go put a quarter in my meter or whatever, parking meter. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I want a burger, medium rare, and a coffee.
Yeah, and then like eventually comes back around, and the dude's like, "Here you fucking go, dude.
Here you go, man.
Cold ass burger that you had me made you,
and a cold ass coffee. I'm assuming.
Yeah, you motherfucker. Or it's fresh and warm, and that's just part of it.
It's also a fuck you to him, you know.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. What? Okay, I think it was in the diner, but it's whenever he's sitting there with Marcy. And they're having coffee. Yeah, it's after they have their first conversation in the bedroom. They're like, do you want to get some air? Let's go get some coffee. They go get coffee. And then he's like, hey, can we get the check, please? And then there's this dude. I don't know. Well, I don't know if he works there. Maybe he's just the boss. But he was like sitting at the bar. And he's like, it's on the house. Yeah, don't worry about it. You know, things are different around here. It's after hours. You know, he says how the movie. But then as they're walking out, you know, Marcy blows him a kiss, and he does this like really weird, like he
catches it really dramatically. Yeah.
Yes, it was the most out of it. Just moments like that actually happen a lot. There's that one. There's the guy at the first diner that him and Marcy meet at.
Yeah,
at
the dancer guy.
The dancer. Can I have your pen? You know. Does a little twirl and hands it to him. You know,
he just looks at him like, okay,
yeah, like what the fuck, like, and I don't know. There's just certain things like the toilet in the dude's apartment. Why's it got to overflow? Why is it blue? You know, there's so many questions, and then he tries to close the lid, and I'm just like, I don't know, like if that's me, I'm dipping instantly. Like I don't know if that starts If that starts happening, I'm just dipping instantly. But I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, like his burglar system was literally like a button, and then the key was hanging on like this metal like bar that came out of it. Like it was this simplest thing ever. And like there's I don't know, I used to try like to lucid dream back in the day. I was like obsessed with like high school and middle school. And like one telltale that you're like in a dream, or like one very like hard sign that you're in a dream, is that technology just does not work the way that it should.
Right.
And that like if you try to call someone, like you're not going to get an actual phone call, or like that your phone is just going to look weird or something like that. And like even every time it comes up here, like even when he tries to make a phone call, like, you know, 5840, you know,
my
like
God.
The girl like annoying him, or like he calls 911 and they're just like, they either just don't believe him because it's like so crazy, or they're like, it's New York, we got like crazy shit to worry about, you know, or whatever.
When he watches a dude get murdered and he goes, I'll probably be blamed for that.
Oh my God, that was so good. Yeah, that just in the middle of all this chaos.
That might be my line. Yeah, I'm between that and something else, but that's pretty top two for me.
It was pretty good. I think it was what I put initially. Right when I heard it, I put it down as my line. And then one, I think it came later, is the one I'm ended up going with. But it has to do with the plaster of Paris bagel and cream cheese paperweight, dude.
Yeah.
What the hell? There's another connection. Freaking the ice cream girl has this paperweight.
Yep.
Right? Or is it Beehive Girl? Maybe it's Beehive Girl.
Beehive Girl has the paperweight. And here's the thing, too, is that they managed to make this block of, like, because this is not a big setting. He doesn't go far. He never actually makes it out of, like, this several block radius. She is a local artist. She lives on that block. She probably sells straight out of there, as is exemplified by Cheech and Chong trying to buy the paper mache thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, Kiki Bridges is a local artist.
What the hell, dude? Like, I don't know, but it was after he finds the burn cream or whatever, and he's starting to get freaked out, and he's like, "How about that joint?" So they start smoking, and he gets pissed. He's like, "What the fuck even is this?" Like this isn't weed, whatever. And like they're just getting mad, but then they like kind of fight a little bit. It seems like,
Yeah, like she's trying to make it lighter than it is, and he's like, "I'm fucking pissed.
He's pissed.
I thought I was coming over to have sex, and this night has not gone the way I thought."
Yeah, and he says, "I said I want to see a plaster of Paris bagel and ice." And wow, that's a mouthful to say.
Yeah,
a plaster of Paris bagel and cream cheese paperweight. Now cough it up, he says. Now cough it up, and then he says, "Do you want them right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I want it right now." He says, "Then get them, because as we're sitting here chatting, there are important papers flying rampant around my apartment because I don't have anything to hold them down with." I was like, at that moment, I'm like, okay. Like I was questioning. I'm like, is this reality? Is this dude really going through this? Like, is this a real night? And I'm like, no. At this point, no. That's not weed, and that is some drug that I don't know what mind-altering effects that were going on there.
Well, there's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of stuff that I didn't get on my first watch that like kind of crystallizes on my second watch. When he's telling the story to Kiki as he's rubbing her shoulders. Yeah. And he's like, I got my tonsils removed, and this place was full, so they had to take me to the burn ward. They told me to put a blindfold over my eyes, and if the blindfold came off, I would see, and he was like, and then I did, and you know what I saw, and he never gets to finish it. Mm-hmm. So clearly, whatever he saw that day really stuck with him, because he has a real tough time with burns and getting attended to when he has the scratch on his arm later on, and like everything that happens in relation to a scar or a scratch. And she's the way the Kiki's like, he's like, "You have a nice body," and she's like, "No scars or anything." And he's like, I guess not. Yeah, I wouldn't even really think about that. And then later on, he sees the scars on Marcy's thigh, and then later he checks, and they're not there.
It's just a skull tattoo.
What the fuck?
It was part of, right? Wasn't it just, or was there like actual scars there as well as the skull tattoo, or was it like just partially?
It was on it was on her other leg. It was on her right hip, instead of like the inner left thigh. That's why he lifts the dress or the blanket all the way up to see. He wants to, and then it's not there.
Okay, because I remember, like, because I thought, I'm like, oh shit, I see scars. Like that look, I don't know, looks something obviously
it was
happened
purposeful
there.
For sure. Yeah.
But then, whenever it was like there was like the keychain, the skull on the keychain that the dude, his boyfriend, and then it's the skull tattoo. Yeah, and it has like a red hat at the top of the tattoo, and like I thought the skirt was just like barely like covering partially of the tattoo, and like he saw the red, and then like I thought like for a second, I'm like, wait a minute, were there scars actually, or was it just the tattoo that made him think that there was something bad going on?
Well, because he sees the scars before he sees the tattoo.
Yeah, I just couldn't remember if whenever he does see it for the first time, if it's actually like for the viewer, if we see it as well, like if there are like clearly scars there or not.
Yeah, not in that spot. I think we only see her right hip, and it looks like claw marks. It doesn't even look like burns.
That's right.
Yeah,
there was definitely something, like 100%. Yeah, there's like no way it was just the tattoo. Yeah, and
then it's not there later, which I think further, aids the idea that this is either a nightmare or it is a hellscape, or it's just a really dark comedy where this dude's getting fucked over at every turn, and it's like this poor fucking guy. Regardless, what a fucking night to have, man. I'd take a leap, man. Like off the highest building I could find.
If it's to avoid getting attacked by a ice cream mob. Is it even, she just has an ice cream truck?
Yeah.
It's just like the neighborhood
watch. That's her job. Yeah, it's her, I mean, she delivers ice cream.
Uh-huh.
She's like an ice cream truck driver.
Oh, okay. I just like it's just like the central hub or like a central
I don't think
leader
this is like I don't think it's a formal neighborhood watch. They were after this this person who's robbing everybody, and they were like, well, we're all here, we all want to find this guy, let's fucking do this thing. I don't think it's like a established crew or anything. I think that the community just really banded together to destroy Paul.
Fair, because they're what the heck? And like, because at first I thought like, okay, he's gone, and whenever they switch him and the bartender switch keys, I thought that his apartment was gonna get robbed. It was a whole con on him, like kind of get him out for the night. No money, whatever, I don't know. Can't get back home, and so do this thing, switch his keys. We go rob his place, and then because we know he'll be gone, whatever.
Right.
And then I'm like, maybe that's what the burglar alarm is. They know when it's on, so they know when he's heading back or something. I don't know. Because I'm thinking, like, I was thinking so hard. I don't know, like during this movie, and then I'm like, you know what? I just gotta let it happen. Like,
just let it happen.
I just gotta whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, and there's no way to guess what the hell was gonna happen next. I mean, it's just
the fact that the dude gets a relatively happy ending, where he just like he lives, and he gets dropped back off at work. By the way, last person to leave work, first person to show back up. Also,
is there something going on with that last shot? Like, he's there in his desk, the first go around, and the next time he gets back to his desk, he's gone. He's just not even there. And then at the very end, I don't know if it's just what I watched it on, but like there's a cut.
Oh yeah, there's a cut. Like
at the very end, and then like a skip. Like it kind of skips a little bit.
Yeah.
I think. And like so
the credits shot is fucking cool too, by the way. That whole way
I think
around
that's what I'm talking about.
And I'm just commenting on how cool it was that they
because he was there the first time. He was there in his desk, and you saw him.
And at the end, we've circled back around to his desk. That's what happens there?
He's not there. I think you can even see hello
Paul. Yeah.
Paul. Yeah, I think you can see hello Paul on the computer as it kind of passes by one more time. And then it goes into that like one little hallway where it does that cut, and then you see that like black trench coat dude walk out, and then that's it. Like, it's a really weird cut at the end. Like, was it to like focus on that black trench coat dude, or was it like just to?
I guess I didn't really consider that. Yeah, I'm not sure. Why?
Because like that's pretty unless they just literally lost that part of the film. Or
like literally lost that part of the film, or this took multiple takes and this is where the first one fucked up or something. Yeah.
Because I mean, it's a weird because like you see like a lady walking, and then it's kind of lined up, like it's the same part of The Office.
I remember the cut. Because it stood out to me too.
I feel like you would still see that lady that was walking that one direction or whatever. But yeah, it is a weird.
It's abrupt.
Something definitely was going on, and I didn't know because I think the hellscape that makes way more sense because I was trying to think of it as like we were talking about how I don't know on what. We were talking about how like people just have dreams every night. Like we all have this collective trip.
I think it was off mic. I think we were just talking before something.
Yeah, it's like everyone goes to bed, and everyone doesn't have a memorable dream every night, but you're dreaming if you're asleep, if you're in a deep sleep, and we all trip balls at night all together. And then we all just get up and go to work and act like our lives are perfectly normal. And I was like, maybe, is that what this is, where it's trying to get? Is that like this dude had just had either the most fucked up night and he has to go to work and then everyone's like, yeah, well, like you have no idea what could have happened to someone in the span of one night. Like maybe that's what, like everyone's life is so complicated.
Yeah, you never know what someone's going through sort of thing.
Yeah, and I was like, man, I don't know. Like, is that what it's trying to get at? Or like,
I think the loop is significant. It's starting with him leaving work and it ending with him showing back up to work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that strictly means that he, I don't think it's saying anything about I mean, I think there is something to be said about the way that it treats the workplace, you know, as a place that this guy, especially the corporate, like just cog in a machine sort of workplace where he has no interest in being there. Nobody else does.
Dude, if I got dropped off, even if I got dropped off right at work the next day, right there, I would still
I'm going home.
No shot I'm going to work that day. I mean, like, maybe he needs money. I don't know. Maybe that $20 was all he had.
It was.
But at least maybe that's all he took out for the night. You know? Just doesn't want to carry all the cash.
Right. That's fair.
Has. But what, like, yeah, the $20 showing back up is weird. The whole Cheech and Chong paper, like, just, like, so they actually bought it from Kiki?
Yeah. Yes.
So why
steal another one later on in the night?
No. Why were they so scared whenever Paul was just like, hey, like, whenever they were just putting it in the back, like, if they bought it, you know, I don't know. Like, did they think they were about to get robbed or something?
Yeah, like, they know there's, and that's the other thing is that they never really confirm whether or not these two are the ones who do the burglaries. But I'm pretty sure they do because they break into June's place at the end.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, I think they were just afraid that this dude was like, they clearly didn't run into anyone else that night who was like, hey, stop that. Give me your shit. You know, like,
That's fair. Okay. Yeah, I didn't even think of who's the ones actually doing the robberies the whole time.
I'm pretty sure it's them.
It's definitely them. Yeah. Okay.
Fucking Cheech and Chong, man. That's fucking outstanding.
Man. Wow. And, like, whenever he first shows up in, like, Kiki's apartment, and she's like, hey, like, you want to work on this for a little bit?
Yeah.
Like, you're just, like, what? Like everything was just so...
You want a massage?
And strange. Yeah, like, man, doing this all day, like, shoulders sure get sore.
And then when she's tied up later, it's like it's a sex thing. It's not that she's...
Oh, yeah. But how?
What are these guys, sailors?
How'd she throw the keys out the window, bro? She was tied to the freaking post. You know? She looked out the window and threw the keys down to him.
Oh, yeah, she was tied to the pole.
Or whatever, I think. But, damn. Yeah, Kiki's a woman. Man, she's into the...
Quite the woman.
Yeah.
Club Berlin seemed like the place to be on the weekends.
Like, it could be anything. You never know what you're going to get. You're either going to get a mohawk party where you can get a forced mohawk if you don't have one, you know, if you want to get into the club and just rave your ass off, or you're going to get
the conceptual art party.
Okay, why was he the only one invited? Who gave him that invitation? Who was that? Random person out of nowhere just gave him the invitation, left. And then
there's something I find really interesting that I can't tell if is intentional or if it's just something they did. Did you think June looked exactly like an older version of Marcy at all? I mean, they're played by different actresses. I was curious if it was just the same actress, Patricia Arquette, in makeup. It's not. It's 𝗃𝗏 Bloom. But, like, when I saw her, I was like, she looks just like Marcy if she grew old instead of died tonight.
I see that.
So I was wondering if they were doing something intentional there. And why Paul felt so comfortable immediately going to her and bearing his soul and being like, hey, I just want to live. You know, I just want to live.
I mean, it might just be it was the only quiet time he got. And like, everyone else that he ran into just wanted to kill him. Pretty much, you know? He hasn't had one normal interaction the entire night. And then he just, I don't know. He expects this conceptual art that it's just normal. Like, yeah, they changed the club from absolute rave to this in one night. or whatever for whatever reason, and like
hours later,
she's just the regular there, June. I guess like
she lives underneath it.
Yeah, she's just always there. Why is she paper mache too? Oh. Maybe it is an older version of her, huh?
Could be.
Well, I guess Kiki was the
paper mache artist. Yeah, like
Maybe just another weird connection.
I mean, my favorite scene in the movie, and we're getting more to a point where I think it is almost the last scene. Whenever he shows up to the conceptual art party, dances with June, he hides her, or she hides him downstairs, and they all show up. It's because that is literally the culmination of literally every single storyline in the movie all converge at that point. Which I think would further the idea that this is like a representation of Marcy as an old woman. The paper mache is there because it represents something else that happened with Marcy. It just kind of reminds him of that whole situation. And then everyone's still chasing him, and then he gets stolen by the actual burglars of the night. And it's just like everything kind of crosses over, I feel like, in that moment, and kind of ties every little thread together.
Wow. Yeah. Because everyone's there, the whole mob. Yeah, like...
And then the fact that June isn't gonna let him out.
Yeah. I'm in this too. I need to make sure
what
they're
if
not
they come back?
But like...
Lady, what do you want to do with me, bro? Like, what is this?
I don't
Covers
know.
his mouth? Nope. I'm getting up, I'm just muscling my way out of that thing.
Yeah,
it can't be that strong.
I'm just falling forward and just letting it. Hopefully it's already hard enough to crush like it does when he falls out the back of the van. I don't know. But yeah, no, that was, man, he really, I don't know. I guess you can look at it one way. It is just hell and it's crazy. Or every woman he just ever interacted with was just absolutely had something nuts about him. Like, like that's the thing, is that they seemed more and more normal at first each time. Like, well, I guess Marcy seemed pretty normal at the beginning. Well, I don't know. She was like, I'm about to go to my friends. Yeah, she has a whatever bagel, cream and cheese paperweights that she sells. If you're interested, here's her number. And her name's Kiki, but like just a plug, for a friend. Good friend. Marcy is
great friend. Yeah.
But like,
she's clearly got a lot going on emotionally. Yeah.
God. Yeah. Like, what's up with the Wizard of Oz thing too? Like,
something Dorothy. I can't remember what it was.
Surrender
Dorothy. Yeah.
Surrender Dorothy, just kept saying it over and again and again
and again and again and over again and over again and over again.
Eventually, I just put an end to it, and I was like, "Oh my, what do you mean by that? Like, what do you mean by an end? Like, did you kill the dude? Did you?" And like, yeah, I don't know. That was weird. I feel like I don't know what order the movie goes in. Like, I'm like, when I'm remembering back, I feel like it like is all kind of just one jumbled
Some nights
kind of mess.
Blends together.
Yeah,
I need to remind myself what happened.
This dude's becoming Batman if he lives. Like, if he lives through this, like this is
not the fucking Joker, bro.
Oh my,
like,
that's true.
My
yeah,
God.
maybe this is more of a Joker moment. Oh my God. Yeah, no. I mean, I guess. Yeah, the scene that I picked was the guy that lets him into his apartment. That's like, oh hey, I've never actually done this with a guy before.
Oh
like
my God,
he's
yeah.
Thinking
I forgot that
he's about to get a hookup or whatever, and then Paul just goes and rambles. He's just like, dude, you wouldn't believe it.
This happened, and then this happened, and then this happened.
he's like, just wanted to go out, maybe have a good night, meet a girl, and then I can't do anything without anyone trying to kill me. He's like, I don't know, like it was. I thought it was just really fun. Like the cuts, that he's just going on and on and on, and the dude's just like, all right, man, like what the fuck? Like, yeah, I guess that's kind of the only normal. What happened there? Oh no, he just saw 𝗵𝘗.
It was after he
out of the window.
fell to his knees and was like, "Why me? I'm just a word processor."
Why, God? What have I done? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Okay. I like
One more
this.
there.
I like this idea that this dude's in hell and this is his loop, like his.
Because I mean, New
purgatory.
York is a very big city, and I understand that
Mhm.
he wouldn't want to go too far away from home in order to get home.
Mm-hmm.
But like, he is consistently around this block. He goes from the same place to the same place to the same place to the same place. Like he ends up coming back to every location, I think twice, or coming back once, being there twice. Like it's He does it to every single place. There's always an excuse. He goes back to the bartender's apartment. He goes back to her employee's apartment. He goes back to Marcy's apartment. He goes back, like he keeps bouncing from place to place and going back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And it just keeps creating this. He goes back to the diner. I think twice, maybe even more than that. I feel like it's only twice though.
Yeah, he does the restroom and then back for coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he talks to the bartender
again with the bartender. Yeah, I think 3 times he goes to the diner because he's like, the bartender's there and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get your keys for you." And then he goes outside and then he meets the mob and then he has to run through the back.
The one who he was literally just telling him, like, they think I'm the burglar. They think I'm stealing stuff. I need you to tell them I'm not. Then he goes out there. The guy, they show him the poster and he's like, "Oh, he's right there." Like.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
What are you doing, bro? What's your problem? I know you've had a rough night too. Just leave. What's the worst you can do?
So wait, if Cheech and Chong are actually the thieves, then did Kiki actually get robbed of that statue at the first?
And then that's the other thing, is that like I guess they pick and chose what they were going to steal that fucking night, because she did say that she just sold them. Did she say she only said she sold them one of the things? She didn't say she sold him the sculpture and the TV set.
She said I sold him a TV for.
Yeah, so they stole the statue.
Okay, yeah. Wow! It's like you feel like you have to figure out the move. Like you feel like there's something there. Like there feels like there's a puzzle to figure out.
Yeah, a greater meaning that we haven't
I don't
discovered.
think there is. I don't think there is. Yeah, I think it is. It is just because, the $20 bill. There's no explanation. Like there's simply no explanation for that one. Like why June also paper maches.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What the fuck? Like what? Yeah, I the only way it make the most sense to me is that it's either just a hell, purgatory, or just.
Well, that's the thing too, is that it hardly matters, because even if it's not hell, it might as well be. You know what I'm saying? Like, this guy just had a hellish night if it's not actually literally hell. There's a gorgeous shot. I think it's him running out of Club Berlin. I can't remember for sure, but it's just like the entire shit is moving and he's just kind of running in the middle of the screen. Do you know the story behind this shot?
Oh no, I have no idea.
Oh, okay. There's the set they were on wasn't long enough, so he's literally running in a circle, and everything you're seeing is just them spinning around as he runs in a circle around them, which kind of emphasizes the sort of like the loop he's just running in. Like he doesn't pass all the same stuff, but he runs in a big ass circle, so you can't really see what's behind him.
Wow. Man. Oh, yeah, the freaking score. Or like that, like...
Dude.
Like... I don't know how to explain it. Like the... Kind of eerie. Like, kind of like Clockwork Orange-esque.
Yeah, it's very, Herman. It's the composer for Alfred Hitchcock, which is kind of the inspiration for this whole movie, is Alfred Hitchcock's sort of style, and his close collaborator. I think I can't remember the guy's first name, but I know his last name was Herman. Herman did the scores for Hitchcock movies, and they had this sort of synthy, ominous, like something bad's about to happen, something bad did just happen. You're just supposed to be uncomfortable. And so like that's a major influence on this movie.
Definitely, it's like because all the other music is like Mozart or like actually known music, but then this is like it's uncomfortable. Like it is like eerie. It is weird. Like I don't know. I like it though. Like it was I don't know. Like it just added a whole different feeling to it. Like I don't know, just added to this mystery of what the heck's going on.
Isn't it? I mean, just like take a step back here. Isn't it even weirder that this is a Martin Scorsese movie?
I mean,
doesn't it feel very, very different from what you'd expect from him? Like it's just.
That's why I was like, am I genuinely watching the wrong movie? I'm like, is there another After Hours movie that I'm watching? I'm like, directed by Martin Scorsese. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, sure.
This is it.
This is the right one. I had to do a couple checks during the watch just to make sure, but no, I mean, I guess I haven't seen a lot of his filmography, but of what I have seen, like. Yeah, this is.
Especially of the 6 we've selected here, and even let's think back to the 4 we've already covered. Beyond that, Taxi Driver, oddly enough, might be this movie's best comparison. We've covered The King of Comedy, we've covered Goodfellas, we've covered The Departed, we've covered Wolf of Wall Street. We're going to cover Gangs of New York and Casino and Shutter Island and The Irishman. And maybe the only one, like maybe Taxi Driver, After Hours, and weirdly enough, like Shutter Island kind of feels like it might fit into that as well. But beyond that, this takes that even further than either Shutter Island or Taxi Driver does. Like it is.
Yeah, there's still.
It's also funny. Like the other ones aren't particularly funny. He has a lot of funny moments in a lot of his other movies, like Goodfellas is, and Wolf of Wall Street are hysterical movies at a lot of points. But this one, this is a dark comedy, Yeah,
it's funny, and then there's parts where it's like you're obviously laughing, and then there's other parts where you're like, I don't know if I should laugh here, but I mean, it got pretty dark pretty quick. That's for sure. But
yeah,
I guess after Marcy's death, it was all pretty just the situation that the dude finds himself in is usually the funny thing that's going on. But man, like this, it was a crazy I can't wait to watch it again and see if I'm more inclined to think that there's some connection or just less, like just be like, no, it's just all a hodgepodge, just trying to make connections where they're not at all. And like, cause I mean, if it's a dream or hell, that makes sense. Like, I don't know. It's just like random thing.
If this is just an actual night this guy had, poor fucking guy, man. I don't care how not very great he was.
This is a real night. It's like orchestrated by the city.
Right.
By Soho. This was the conceptual art show. It started before.
Right.
It started at the diner where Marcy gave him his number. Like, everyone's in on it. This is a Truman show.
Truman showing his ass, yeah.
This is this can't be real. Like,
dude, this poor... And I love, again, apparently the original cut of this movie was like 45 minutes longer, which it absolutely doesn't need. You get...
What?
I think the pace is incredibly important, and I think that it would have maintained
that pace. What else could have happened?
Yeah, like...
What else... What? 45 more minutes?
Yeah.
That's insane.
There's actually another fascinating story that I'm in the trivia. Whenever he runs into the bar, I think, what he'd just done, this is literally shot in New York, in Manhattan. Like, they might have blocked off a part of a street, but they didn't do much. It's the middle of the night, and they kind of were very authentic with that. Griffin Dunne, the actor, not the character, went into a bar around the corner was like, a round of drinks on me. Everybody got their drinks and he ran out. And then they started filming as he's at the end of running away and he runs into a bar, and they filmed the scene with that sort of urgency. Like he is trying to get away from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow. Oh my God.
No, it's
That's
bizarre fucking choices. Apparently this movie was just incredibly difficult to, apparently the production process was not very fun. And, Martin Scorsese felt like him and Paul started to become one with like him trying to get this off the ground and get it made.
Wow.
And as it did, it was kind of sped through. It was the fastest he's ever shot a movie, apparently. Like it's
man, how do you,
it has a pace,
as an actor,
urgency.
you read this script and you're like, yeah, like this calls to me. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like what, like, I feel like you have to be sat down and explained what's all, I don't know. Like this is an insane project to take up.
Marty actually told Griffin Dunne to abstain from sex and sleep as much as he could while filming this movie, as like apparently it's shot mostly in like the order that it is the events happen. So Griffin Dunne gets naturally more disheveled and sexually frustrated and, you know, like all this stuff as the filming process goes on.
And that one when the ice cream truck lady is saying
Catherine O'Hara,
fantastic
actress.
The numbers to fuck him up, and then she's like, "I'm trying to entertain you," and he goes, "I don't want to," you know, he like yells at her for a little. He's like, "Oh, fuck!" He's like, "Oh, actually, I didn't mean to do that, by the way." Like, I don't know. He's like,
I'm sorry.
He's
I'm
like,
not having a good night.
Having a hell of a night. Yeah, it's like it.
It's very relatable sort of thing. I mean, to a obviously very, very intense and extreme degree for this. But whenever I have a plan, if I just want to get home, you know, like, especially at that time, you know, like, if I get annoyed trying to get home and I hit a red light, like after work, I'm like, I just want to be fucking home, man. This pisses me off. Like, obviously I'm not like getting pulled in and somebody killed herself and now I've got to tend to this and I'm leaving notes on the wall like dead person this way, dead person this way.
Terrible.
Like, my God.
Oh man, what was I just gonna say? Oh yeah. Maybe like him not being able to get home is like maybe like some Wizard of Oz. Maybe that's why like the Wizard of Oz was thrown in there.
Okay, surrender Dorothy. He's Dorothy.
Like, yeah. Like he. Well. No. Well. Okay. Little yellow dress. Who? No, Marcy said the Wizard of Oz thing. Because like wasn't Beehive or Ice Cream Truck Lady wearing like a yellow dress?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's like a rainbow literally in the, like on her wall or something. I don't know. There's just too many weird connections in this movie that like makes me want to think that there's something something that I could, I don't know, link together. But I think it's, how do you fit like to film this? And like, cause I guess the end, like, what was I taught? You know? What
is there a lesson here?
Did I learn anything? I don't know. Like maybe just hear some people out, you know? Like we need to get used to not just being like, "Hey, how are you? Good. How are you?" You know, maybe? Like it's like, "Hey, how are you?" It's like, "Actually, you wouldn't fucking believe it, but last night."
Yeah, right.
Like I don't know. Like
maybe there's something to the idea that like I don't think you're necessarily supposed to. I know I've talked about how Paul's not a very good dude or anything, but like I've also said, he's not a particularly terrible person. Like he's just he's aggressively normal. He is a very normal person. This is how a lot of people handle situations, you know. And
his apartment all beige, him just like
Yeah.
flipping through the channels, all boring. Like
Well,
it
and
was just
are all the women like manifestations of like his insecurities? You know, like
Ooh.
Marcy and him found a lot in common, and she kind of represented like the burns and that sort of trauma that he incurred at that point. You know, later on, Catherine O'Hara's character, she's like, I drive an ice cream truck. It's my job. And he's like, he like nods and shakes his head, and he dials the phone. She goes, it's not boring.
Yeah.
And he's like,
he was trying to say, like, I've had a bad night or something like that. She's like, yeah, I drive an ice cream truck. He's like,
she's just completely ignoring everything he's saying.
I was trying to tell you I had a bad night. It's not boring, you know.
It's
and you also have to have this sort of license,
driver's license,
in order to do it, you know.
And guess who has it? Me.
And then, like, he says, "Gee whiz," and she gets offended, dude.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't have to deal with this shit anymore, you know. And I was like, what the? I'm like, what just happened? I'm like, what? I'm like, did I miss something? Did he say, like, I think it was just gee whiz. Like, and she's like, are you mocking me, or are you, I don't know, it's something, I forgot. Or was that? I think that was her. Maybe that was 𝗵𝗊𝐻𝗃.
She was excessive.
No, I think
she
that
was the one
𝗵𝗊𝐻𝗃.
who wanted him around, you know, like he's gone for a little bit, and she's like, I missed you. Did you miss me? And he's like, I did miss you.
You wouldn't believe how much I miss you. Like, he's like, I can't let this happen to another girl. He's like, you know, he's like, I don't know what's going on. He's like, so is that like why he's doing, like, he's just like, I have to go back. Like, I can't.
Well, I think that like, he made the promise, you know, he was like it appeased her in the moment. It got him where he needed to go. And then he came back. He was like, you would not believe how much I missed you. And then like immediately after, he's like, but I do have to go, you know, I have to leave. I just want to sleep, you know?
That's true.
So it's fascinating to think about, like, because I think all the people he runs into who annoy the shit out of him, he finds, like, I think they could represent aspects of things he sees in himself, sort of. You know, like, sorry, I might break up a little bit.
You're good.
Okay. But then when it came to like Kiki and Horst and Club Berlin and all of this, they kind of represent this thing he'll never be, and he can never be as cool as, and he you know, like, it's something he almost wishes he could be like, but is like, I'm not that guy. I'll never be that guy, sort of. I don't know. It's just weird. And then when he is accepted in Club Berlin, nobody else is like him. Nobody else is invited. Nobody else is there. You're the only person like you, and it's kind of in a bad way. You know, like, you can tell he doesn't want, like, it's just everything's getting worse. You know? So, like, I don't know. I just there's something here, you know. There's definitely something there as far as a deeper meaning behind it all, because I mean, Marty, he likes to have fun, but he's not one to go without meaning.
And like, what a rebound movie, because apparently he tried to make his, like, passion what's that, with Willem Dafoe, like a religious movie, right?
Yeah, the last Temptation of Christ.
I don't know. I guess I haven't really heard a lot about that, but like, it never got like out, or like it never got published, or like it did, and then people just like hated it.
Well, it was they made this movie in amidst the production struggles of that movie. The Last Temptation of Christ. This was made. This was his. He actually had 2 movies before The Last Temptation of Christ. I think. Yeah.
Okay, because I don't know. So this is before.
Yeah, he made this and The Color of Money before The Last Temptation of Christ. And this is his first one after The King of Comedy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you kind of combine King of Comedy in this movie, and you kind of get Joker. I mean,
that's another one that I think could fit in that Taxi Driver, King of Comedy, and After Hours all feel like unofficially tied together in my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. This just I'd say Taxi Driver's closer. Just a crazy night, just an absolutely. I guess it's more than one night for Taxi Driver.
Yeah, and Taxi Driver,
but just things just keep going crazier and crazier in Taxi Driver, and this is definitely. I don't know. I think this might be more unhinged. I think probably quite comfortable. I just haven't seen Taxi Driver in a little bit.
I mean, it's definitely everything happening around the character is much more unhinged. The character himself is not quite as unhinged,
That's fair. Travis Bickle, he's getting into the club. He's got the mohawk.
Yeah.
He
would make it into Club Berlin.
He has the mohawk. Willingly.
I don't know if you saw him, but Marty was in Club Berlin on Mohawk Night. He was up above in the rafters. He was the one shining a light on everybody.
They did focus on a guy. That was
Marty. That was Martin Scorsese.
Way, dude. No way. I have to see that now. Oh my god! The
Yeah,
first time they go to the club,
pointing.
Like is that the?
Yeah, the first time with the Mohawk Night. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's after. Okay. Yeah, he goes. Okay, here it is. Club Berlin. That's right. Yeah, the bouncer. Oh my god, that guy.
He was funny, man.
Oh my god, that is him. Look at him up there.
He does make he does make a lot of cameos in his movies in some capacity. He was in Taxi Driver. He appeared in The King of Comedy.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I guess that is 85. It's just I know him as the white-haired.
Yeah, the 90-year-old
white
man.
hair. Yeah, just
or 80-year-old man.
Is he real? Oh, I was gonna say, is he really 90?
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of insane that Martin Scorsese was born November 17th, 1942.
Dude was born during World War II.
Would you believe me if I told you that Harrison Ford is 4 months older?
Oh my god. Harrison Ford looks good.
Harrison Ford is an incredible looking 80-year-old man. I mean, holy shit.
That's actually incredible. Yeah. I mean, Scorsese doesn't look too bad.
Oh no, not by any means. He looks much more obviously 80. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, I think he looks his age, and that's not a bad thing. Harrison Ford is just an impressive looking 80-year-old. Like, I mean, I'd still throw 65, 70 at him. But
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
80, it's 80.
That's pushing it.
That's up there.
Man.
Yeah, man. It's Marty. He's and that's what's so heartbreaking about like the interviews he's been doing lately too. Like, I don't know if you saw the stuff from the GQ article recently that everyone is turning into a discussion about comic book movies again. But he's been getting so honest about how frightening it is that he doesn't have many stories left in him, and that he's like I'm creatively, I don't have much time left. I only have so much time left to create. And it's so fucking sad every time he talks about it. I'm like, he's being so bare bones, genuinely honest with people. And then they're like, why do you hate Marvel movies? What do you think about Spider-Man?
Damn. That's a shame.
Dude, but that's the shit that's heartbreaking about him. That's why I'm so excited for Killers of the Flower Moon and any other stories we have left with him, just because, I mean, goddamn, thinking about Harrison Ford being 4 months older than Scorsese.
That's not okay.
That's not a day. I mean, like, I don't want any of these legends to pass or anything, but obviously they're going to. And that day I dread deeply.
Morgan Freeman is 86 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Dude. Samuel L. 74.
That one always blows my mind. He's an incredible looking 74.
Holy shit, he looks so good for 70. Yeah, wow. Okay. Who's our guy here? Griffin Dunne. I don't know if I've seen him in anything else.
I've actually seen him. I've seen him pretty recently in a show my dad was watching.
A French Dispatch.
Yeah. He's a tiny role in French Dispatch. Doesn't even speak. Here I can say I actually saved the photo a couple weeks ago so that I could show it to you because I saw that and I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's just sitting. He's sitting in the office, the no crying office. Oh, I just went through and deleted a bunch of photos the other night. Shit. Okay, so it's gone. But he's sitting in the office next to Owen Wilson and Tilda Swinton when they're hearing about his death.
Okay.
But yeah, so he was in Search Party. That's what my dad was watching recently, a comedy show.
Okay.
No, yeah, not
I think he's pretty clearly getting the character and performance.
Yeah, that's something Scorsese's got going for him is that like you have a main character and you know they're going to be written and directed very well. So like we're probably going to fall into this a lot. Last week we both picked Robert De Niro as Rupert Friend or Rupert Rupert what?
Rupert
Pupkin.
I'm still going to struggle saying that till the day I die.
Rupert Pupkin. I always want to say Rupert Friend because that's the actor that's in that was in Obi-Wan Kenobi in the new Wes Anderson movies.
Rupert Pupkin and Paul Hackett.
Yep, yeah. Rupert Pupkin and Paul Hackett. They've taken the cake in both the first two, and it'll be Casino will get a little harder. I think we got a few options around for that one.
It's seeming like I don't know. I'm excited for this one. I've heard things about Casino. As far
it'll be a shift going from this hour and 35-minute event here to 2-3 hour movies in a row.
Yeah,
in Casino and Gangs of New York next week.
That's all right. This After Hours, I don't know. In King Comedy, like I knew zero about them going into this. Whatsoever, and I don't know. I'm enjoying them very much so far, and I'm ready for some more De Niro. Give me some Joe Pesci.
Yeah. This one has an underrated cast, I think. Like one that people just kept popping up, and I was like, oh my god, that fucking person! Oh my god, that fucking person! Like you start the movie with Patricia Arquette, she's in there straight off the rip, and then later on you meet John Hurd. Who is you'd probably know him from the dad in Home Alone.
Oh.
And then you get Catherine O'Hara, who would later go on to be the mom in Home Alone.
What?
Yeah. The one who keeps interrupting him with the numbers. That's the mom from Home Alone. And the bartender is the dad from Home Alone. So, that's fun.
So they got together after his girlfriend died. He had to get someone. Yeah, totally.
Yep. Tight-knit community. They moved to Chicago, and that's that. Kevin! That's it from there. That's all she wrote.
Yep.
But no, I love Catherine O'Hara. So like her popping up the first time I watched this, I was like, I was just like, Catherine O'Hara, fuck it. Like the fact that all these people were in a Scorsese movie. Oh, it's Rosanna Arquette, not Patricia Arquette. My bad. But Cheech and Chong, the fact that we see fucking Terry Garr, who I only know from Friends, but that's a random little connection that I could make in my head.
Close Encounters of the Third Kind. She's in that. I've heard about that movie. I've heard it might be up my alley.
Yeah, it's Steven Spielberg there. Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Ooh, UFO.
Yeah, Alien.
Ooh, I could be down with that. I like me some Spielberg. Richard Dreyfuss. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, sidetrack. That's kind of what this movie just sort of felt like, though. It just sort of felt like a side mission. This dude's just going on side quests, but they're all nightmares. Like, it's all horrible interactions that have to happen. Like, I don't know. I was almost. I think my scene that I will go with is like his rant that he just gives to that one guy in the apartment. But like whenever they were like just first, whenever Marcy and Paul met in the diner at the very beginning, like, and she just goes, I love that book, and he just keeps reading for like a solid like 5-10 seconds. I don't know, it's probably not that long, but like it was like awkward, like an awkward enough time. And she goes, oh yeah, I love that book. Like she repeats it as he looks up, and he goes, oh thanks. Kind of pauses again for a little bit, but then starts to speak, and I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like it's just so awkward the whole time, but so like
he's also a little bit. I mean, like, if you can be passionate about books without seeming pretentious, but he seems pretentious. Like he seems a little pretentious about the book he's reading.
I gotta finish my paragraph that I'm on. Actually, I can't.
I don't reread books often, but this is.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you really? Oh, you
like
love it? Oh, me too. I reread this one all the time. Oh, if you read it, if you like it, it's one of my favorites. It's actually, I know the guy.
This one is my favorite.
Yeah. I wrote this book. Actually, I'm the author.
I'm Paul Hackett. How are you? No, man, it's I am going with the scene at Club Berlin at the end whenever he goes back and meets June. I think that's the one for me. But what's your favorite shot of the movie? I'm curious about that.
A couple. There was one like it's at I like just the gold doors whenever he's leaving work.
Oh yeah.
Just nice grand shot, kind of cool wide shot. But also there was it was raining, and he's just running. He's just running through I think he's just trying to get to the subway or something. It's before he knows it's $1.50. And he's just kind of running through the street, and it's raining.
It's $1.50 after midnight. Did you know that? Yes,
yeah.
I know that.
97 cents. He's like, come on, just let me through. He's like, I could lose my job, man. I can't do that. He's like, fine, whatever. He jumps over that big ass security guard.
Who's gonna know?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know. I get drunk at a party. I tell someone.
Yeah,
like,
not even. Yeah, like what? You're gonna snitch on yourself, dude? I let this guy through for 53 cents.
I've been keeping this in for too long, and I'm drunk tonight, so I'm just gonna tell you, sir. I let a guy through for 50 cents short one night.
And then he tries to get $1.50 from the bartender. Too bad he can't open the cash register. Just homie goes apeshit on that. Like, oh my god, dude, just started kicking that shit. Like, I was like, oh my god, like, oh, and like, yeah, and Paul was like, oh, it's okay. It's actually okay. Like, I don't need the money.
I don't need it. He's like, nah, but now if I get a rush, I want to open this fucking drawer, and like, that's relatable, being
right.
like,
fair enough. Yeah, like,
yeah.
Yeah, like, I guess true. That is fair. He would have to, I don't know, but there's every bar. No, it is the same bar every time. Yeah, because there's just that one couple like dancing the first time, and then 𝗵𝘊𝘐 as the worker.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next time it's like that gay couple that's just sitting there, and then because he gets the phone call, and then he's like,
what can you say?
Yeah.
What
can you say? It's not your fault. Like, he literally is like, it's not your fault. Making the bartender just feeling way more like shit too, It's like, what can you say? At least you weren't the reason that your girlfriend killed herself, It's like, oh my god. Like, dang. Like, what a...
Well, and the fact that right before he receives that phone call, he goes down there to complain about 𝗵𝘊𝘐, and he's like, I don't know, she wants me around. He's like, yeah, no, that'll happen. Just leave her. What's she gonna do? Kill herself? And then he gets the phone call that his girlfriend killed herself, and you're like, oh my fucking god.
Wait a minute.
Oh, dude, what a fucking movie, man.
Wait a minute. Did the police call him? Because Paul went back to the apartment. Like, wouldn't they have taken it? Who called the bartender?
I'm assuming it was far after he'd returned to the apartment.
Oh, really?
And before he does
the
third
he does
time.
know if she's dead. That's right.
Yeah.
And then when he goes back, he doesn't go in that room, right? He's just in the living room. He just takes a $20 bill and dips.
Because he went to Club Berlin to talk to Kiki, couldn't find Kiki or Horst, went back to their place to see if he could find Kiki and Horst. Couldn't find Kiki and Horst, so he leaves again.
Wow. What a plot. What, like, how do you recommend this movie to someone? Well, I think I would say, like, if you're ever up at 1:30 in the morning and you can't sleep and you know you're going to be up just an hour and a half, you just put this on and then have fun trying to go to sleep the next couple hours.
What's really weird is that the first time you watch this, and I don't know if it's this way for you, but it kind of was for me. It's not scary, but it's a little freaky, like
it's like that theme, like it kind of had me thinking something was going to happen. Like, I don't know, like it's eerie. Like there is this, like
there's like something lurking around the corner, something bad's about to happen at all times.
The city was too. It's just creepy as well. Like, I don't know, I guess like, maybe there's parts in New York, like this is 80s, I guess, so it's, but I would imagine, I don't know. There's really parts of New York that are this empty ever. Maybe Soho. I don't know if Soho is like a more just unpopulated part of New York or something, but, Oh, 20,000 in Soho? It's actually, like, not a lot of people for New York, I feel like. Well, that's just one neighborhood.
It's not a big, like, so if it's a part of New York City, it's not a very big part of New York,
Okay. Yeah, he didn't go far. That taxi took him.
That whole fucking thing. Whoa, you're going real fast, and he's like sliding around in the back seat.
No rush, man. Stuff. He's like, no rush, dude. Man.
And when he takes his 20 later on and speeds off.
Yeah. How does it feel? Or like as he's leaving, or like see how it feels, as he's just speeding off. Captain hat, or whatever. Dude, like everyone was a character. Like it's either hell or a dream. Like it's just a nightmare. But yeah, him just like disappearing at the end. Like he does disappear. Like he goes back to his desk and he's not there the second time. I don't know about that. Seems
maybe the loop started over and he'd already gotten up to leave. Because is there anyone else in the office by the end of it too?
Yeah, it seems like the day is starting. Because like there's a dude vacuuming, people are like getting to their desks, sitting down. Like they're like carrying their briefcases and stuff.
Nah, maybe he just got up to wash off.
Yeah, because it goes back. You see the guy vacuuming, and like it purposefully like avoids his desk. Like you don't see it until you like he go all the way around until like you see his chair. Yeah, and he's not there. Like there's no one in any of the desks that are even around his either. And like you see everyone else that was there right before. And,
well, that's why I think maybe the very ending is the restart of the loop and everyone's already left, and like there's not a literal entire day he goes through. The day starts, it's the end of the day, he leaves again, this happens again.
Okay. Yeah. Man. So, I mean, like symbolically, like he was wearing like a white shirt whenever he first went out, but then Kiki like immediately put on a black shirt on him, to like let's wash this, and like, and that's what he like. I don't know. I really like this hellscape sort of explanation of it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird.
Feels
but
right.
I have a great time watching this movie, and I've
will
watched
watch
it 2
it
times.
again.
Oh yeah,
I will. Like
I watched it twice. Sure. It will certainly not be the last time I watch this movie.
No, Scorsese's starting off well.
Yeah,
it is starting off very, very well. I'd say I don't know. I think it's a step. I liked it better than
I like it more than King of Comedy.
I like it more. I like this more than After Hours. That's how delusional my
That's
brain
how
is.
fucking deliriously confused
Yeah.
it makes you.
I don't even know how I feel about this movie. Let's just ask Google for a random number in between 8 and 10 and see what it gives. I don't know. It's just
That's so funny.
I guess it's just gonna give
9.
well, it gave a 10. It's a 10 out of 10. Yeah, no, it's not gonna give any decimals or anything. Ooh, perfect. Now we might actually get a decimal here. Oh, never mind. Yeah, never mind. I'm done with that. No, I think I can comfortably say it's above an 8, which is what we gave King of Comedy.
I would say so too. Here's a fun little question that we can ask anytime we watch a movie now.
Mm-hmm.
Of the top 100 you laid out in that top 100 series, do you think it would breach that list?
Where would it place? Oh, it's placing. That's for sure on my list. King of Comedy probably would place too.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'd say that probably is placing. If I scroll into the movies I think it compares to, yeah. I mean, it's 60s comfortably, maybe 50s.
Yeah, no, it's a weird fucking movie in like the best possible way. It's kinetically put together and just so hyperactive and urgent, and the feeling you get watching it is just it really keeps you like you are in it the entire time.
You can't look away. Yeah, it's like it's impossible to look away. You have to know what happens
I'd
next.
say that I might be nearing a 9 with this one.
I think it could be. Let's see what other have we given a flat 9 to anything? Fantastic Mr. Fox. That's it. It's the only flat 9 for enjoyment that we've given. So it'd be around Fantastic Mr. Fox, below Oppenheimer, below Tenet, below Dunkirk, below Asteroid City.
What about 875s? What are we looking at there?
We're looking at Rushmore. And that's it.
Okay, Rushmore was my gut, like how I felt about it comparatively. Like 875 did like when you said the 9 movies, I'm like, I don't know if Fantastic Mr. Fox, I'm quite going, oh, I like this as much as that. But I like it. I like it as much as Rushmore. I could tell you that.
Yeah. Yeah, Fantastic has a lot more going for it too. I can rewatch that.
A lot happier.
Oh, yeah. It's a whole different feeling. But different kind. I don't know. The enjoyment's weird. It's more of just like a curiosity. That's like
a morbid,
like
morbid fascination almost. Like you're just like, I can't wait to see the fact that he looks into a window, watches a man get murdered, and that's like a small part of his night. You know. That, I mean, I'm not going to work for a couple days after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's something I witness, I'm probably never okay again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
keep in mind, witnessing after he's running away from a mob trying to kill him because he had to climb a fire escape.
I'll probably get blamed for that.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna commit to that. I'm gonna commit to that as my line.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I mean,
I'll probably get blamed for that. I literally went, you know, like just a shock of just how you could possibly go through all this in an evening is beyond me. But 875 feels good. I think I like this movie. I'd go as far as to say I love this movie. Like now that I've watched it a second time, it definitely would have placed on my top 100. For sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, King of Comedy's probably the lower. I'd say it probably still makes it, but it would be on the lower-ish end. But this is middle of the road.
Middle of it. Yeah, no, I'm with you. And that leaves us critically, man. I think it's really tightly written. It's obviously very open and very up to your interpretation, and you can turn your mind off and watch it, which I think is actually a benefit of it. But if you're actively thinking about what's happening, it's even more fascinating, which really boosts it, in my opinion. I think it's a very visually stimulating movie, far more than King of Comedy was.
Mm-hmm.
I think it stood out a lot more on that side of things. I think the score and the soundtrack was really good.
Sick.
I think the performances are a very specific, like, different kind of angle for Scorsese.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, it looked like if every girl was what was the girl from King of Comedy? What was her name?
oh yeah, Masha.
Masha. It's like if every girl was Masha. Kiki was like the most normal girl in this entire fucking movie, and she made Paris.
I'm more freaked out by the screaming statue she makes, bro. What the fuck is that thing?
At least that's kind of cool, though.
Oh, it's very cool.
That's kind of cool. And apparently it's not that hard. Just paper mache. You know, she even says it. She's like, yeah, it's not even that hard. You know, I don't know. And she just does her thing.
Well, and then Catherine O'Hara at the end when she's walking through, they're looking for Paul, and she's working on him as they look, and she's like, "That looks easy." Why are you just gonna say that to a random motherfucker who's working hard on something?
I think it's because Kiki said it. Like it's like another one of those weird just connections. Like it's just like it was out of nowhere. I don't know, when everyone was all loud and then she quieted him down, he's like, "Do you sense the pressure here?" or something like that. And I was like, I'm like, what? I'm like, what the like it's just you think you can know what's coming next.
The fact that she's like become the captain too, she's like, all right, everybody, move out. You know, like what the fuck? I don't know, man. I love it though. I don't know what it, but
man, it's a Truman Show organized event that we saw. This is
right.
This is hell, and these are all the demons that are
these
on
are the
their
demons.
queues. You know, they have their queues. They got to meet.
Bad place.
Yep. Yeah. Satan's the director, or maybe he's just like the money behind it all. And then
right.
Trying to figure out how hell works right now, but that's definitely what we saw. That's for sure. I don't know how to rate, like, what to compare this to critically, like that. Yeah, like I guess
no. I mean, like it just kind of stands on its own 2 feet, and I think that obviously helps it a great deal. You know, I don't think there is an obvious thing to go, oh, well, this is what this. I think I would go as far as to say that it is better than the King of Comedy as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think we're probably nearing another 8.5, 8.75 situation. Probably an 8.75. It might be an 8.75.
I think I like that.
Straight across the board.
It's unique, you know, and unique in a good way. Like this is
in a very good way. There is not another movie I've ever, and like the only ones I've watched that I would even begin to compare to it are The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver, and those are not like this. You know, like it's just
yeah,
it's a brilliantly original movie. Yeah,
like I don't know how you come up. Like maybe this was like they just dreamed and they just wrote their fucking dreams down for a couple months, and we're like, yeah, let's do that. That's fucking weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna pay attention to my dreams a little more now. I don't know. I've been having some whack dreams, and this I don't think the movie's gonna help for a little bit.
No,
but that's all right. Oh, I'll be having some Ahsoka dreams tonight. A little timeline shift for you all, because technically this episode comes out, Friday the 6th, after the next episode of Ahsoka. The finale will be out by that point, so we'll know that Thrawn was Ezra, and Ezra was Thrawn the whole time, obviously.
Well, of course.
Dathomir.
Naturally. But I'm looking at where this falls amongst our movies. You know, it gets it above Bottle Rocket, above Rushmore, above The Royal Tenenbaums, above The Life Aquatic, above Isle of Dogs, above The Prestige. Yeah, man, this is
I like that.
I do too. Above The King of Comedy. Yeah, like it's
below Barbie, below Lady Bird, yes. Below Oppenheimer, yes. Below Tenet, yeah. Like
you know, enjoyment. The enjoyment factor really helped those movies too. You know, like critically, we're not too much harsher on this than those other ones. It was all just ranked really kindly in the enjoyment factor, and this one's. I mean, like I enjoy the shit out of this movie, but
the audience on Rotten Tomatoes enjoys this less than the critics. actually, which is interesting. Audience is 87%, so pretty high up there. Critically, it's 91. Up there.
And then IMDb gives it a 7.6 out of 10.
Hey.
Yeah. I think we're a bit kind to it, but we're right between. We're right in the middle there.
No, it's not like. I think the uniqueness gives it a boost. Like it's a legitimate boost that it deserves because, like, I don't know. This is not even normal for Scorsese, but it's not even normal just for Hollywood.
Anybody.
Yeah, like it's not normal for any kind of movie at all. And it worked, though, is the thing. It didn't make the movie worse. It actively made it better.
Any means, yeah. It actively enhances your enjoyment and the experience at large. But
here we are. I wonder if the soundtrack is on Spotify.
Yeah,
I don't know if I should listen to it. I feel like it would just make my heart beat faster.
Well, if you look up After Hours anything, the first thing that comes up is that fucking Weekend album.
Yep. Never mind. Okay. That's going to be hard to find. Thank you, The Weeknd. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. They have all the symphonies and all that stuff that was played in the movie. That was just a playlist made by someone. Dang. I don't know. I want that weird, creepy. I don't know what kind of instrument that was.
Herman-esque.
Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. And then, like, I don't know. It's so many weird. Yeah, it was just very dreamlike or just hell.
Man.
But we're out on the other side.
We are indeed. And I'm doing better than Paul Hackett, I'll tell you that.
That's for sure.
That concludes another episode of our Director's Spotlight for one Martin Scorsese, who I am just more and more thankful for every day. Love me some Marty. And I'm loving this project so far. 1 week down, 2 to go in anticipation of Killers of the Flower Moon. And I'm so very excited because next week the project continues with Casino on Wednesday. And then we will be joined by my father, Justin Robertson, to talk Gangs of New York. So very excited for that. So we've got a couple Scorsese next week. Then the week after, we've got Shutter Island and The Irishman. And man, we got a fun slate here, and I'm so very excited to discuss them. But yeah, with that, if you would head to patreon.com/BloomPod, where you'll find over 50 hours of exclusive content, including all sorts of comic book reviews, movie reviews, and the like. If you would head to Twitter, follow at PennyBloomPod, follow on Instagram at PennyBloomPodcast. Remember to leave a 5-star rate and review and download wherever you might be listening. We are continuing our Winter is Blooming at the moment. Next week, I believe, will be season 5, episode 7 for Game of Thrones, and I'm looking forward to that. We're getting near the end of season 5, which is a good culmination of a season. So if you have watched it, important that you have watched it in order to listen to the podcast, because it spoilers out the fucking ass for the entire show. So, yeah, just be careful. Tread lightly. Yeah. Remember to stand in solidarity with SAG-AFTRA as they continue their struggle against the studios. They deserve everything and more they're asking for. We wouldn't be granted performances like Catherine O'Hara and Griffin Dunn and Rosanna Arquette and all this if it wasn't for their hard work. And I believe they deserve every bit they're asking for and more. And yeah, I think that's fair. I think it's only fair. Yeah, I was Colton Robertson. I was joined by Joseph George. Thank you very much, homie.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be here.
Oh, and it's always a pleasure to have you. And remember, peace, love, and bloom. And I want to live. I just want to live.